Guns are a force multiplier that exacerbate the existence of other sociological issues. And since it is, and let me be clear about this, not possible to remove guns from the United States in any meaningful way, the best thing that we can do is try to control the negative externalities with other sociological, with other sociological solutions. We need to continue with the stream, but before we can, I have a new update in the gun discourse. I want to talk to you guys about it again for like the 15th time, okay? So as you guys know, I am an American. And in addition to this making me better than all non-Americans, it also means that I can own like literally any firearm I want. There's basically no limits whatsoever. I could buy a decommissioned Soviet tank if I wanted. I can do whatever I want. So I've wanted a rifle, and I was talking about this. This is the Mini 14. I talked about this the past 2 streams, I think. I quite like it, It's I like wood guns. This gun, I mean, in terms of how this gun like fires, it's a semi-automatic rifle. I mean, it can be like an AR-15. However, here's the thing, okay? What I care most about is how shiny I can make it. Can I engrave the metal? Can I carve the wood? The answer here is yes. But I think I found something even better, okay? The Vepr 223. This might be it, lads. These are quite hard to get at the moment. Look at this. It comes with pre-engraved back and front grips. It's pistol grip, meaning that it's significantly more, well, it handles better, and because there's a larger sort of block of metal, you can get much more detailed engraving done here. And then I can get like some, like like the laser wood engraving done here on the stock. How fucking cool would that be? Does it fire 5.56? Yeah, this chamber's like 6 types of ammunition, but I'd get like the 223, right? Well, don't they fire the same? Yeah. Anyway, I think this is, and plus it's a pistol grip, not a rifle grip, which means that it's just going to handle better, You have a link? It's just the Vepr 223. VEPR 223. And it's a Kalashnikov rifle. It's in the AK line. AK-47, the meme gun? Well, this is in that line. It's from the same, From what I understand, it's considered a high-quality rifle. Yeah, let's go. Maximum LARPing. Yeah, it's like a hipster AK-47. I love it. I think it's beautiful. If I got, like this, some wood engraving on the stock, if I stain the wood, make it a little bit darker or more red, and get engraving on the metalwork, oh my god. Like, that would be really pretty. I think that would look really, really nice. If it's not common, Vaush, doesn't that mean you won't be able to find one to shoot before you buy? The 223 is difficult to get. I can probably go to a range and find a 308 Winchester chambered model and get a basic feel for firing it, Are guns like a fashion thing for you, or do you seriously worry about self-defense? Let me ask you about cars, okay? Imagine your favorite car. The car that you'd buy if you didn't have to worry about money. Now, when you think of the car that you would buy if you didn't have to worry about money, does your mind instantly go to the car that has the highest safety rating in every category? No, it doesn't. In fact, I'd be willing to bet you probably don't even know which cars have the highest safety rating. No, you don't. No, don't lie, chat. I know how consumer purchasing. No, you don't. You think of cool-looking cars, and then you think, well, I'd probably find the one that functions best with the highest, mileage in that range, okay? Now, you are 1,000 times more likely to die to a car than you are to a gun. So, if the question is, am I willing to sacrifice a minute bit of tactical viability by not just getting an AR-15 so that I can have a beautiful piece of art that I can engrave and customize to my heart's content? The answer is yes. I'm going to look at the damn thing and take it to a range, then fuck yeah, I'm absolutely going to get me a shiny goddamn gun. Surprised you didn't go for a lever action rifle? They offer way more options for engraving. Yeah, that goes too far towards the non-viability, in my mind, See, this thing is, in almost every way, functionally identical to an AK. Not an AK, an AR-15. A lever action rifle is significantly less effective. That'd be like driving a stick shift. No, that would be like driving a a jalopy, you know. Does that have to be a 5.56? I'm just going for the cheaper ammo. I could go for a 308 Winchester on this gun, but that ammunition is 50% more expensive. Right now, Remington 223 is like 40 cents per round, and 308 is like 60 cents per round, and that adds up, you know. How big is the Vepr? 3 barrel ranges, I think. 15, 18, and 21 inch. Get an automatic crossbow? True. Okay. We good? Come on, guys. How pretty is that going to be? Oh, you know it's going to be pretty. I think it's gorgeous. I would pay any amount of money and any amount of LARPy whatever to not have a gun that looks like this. I would just get sick looking at this on my wall. I would see this. I'm just. Oh. Oh my god! It's so tactical. That's a very ugly AR. That's an AR-15. This is just like it's just an AR-15. What about an AR-15 with wood furniture? No, that doesn't really like make it. Maybe it makes it a little bit better, but to me it just looks like somebody took an AR-15 and then gave it wood furniture. There's no artistry to it. The AR-15 is popular because it's cheap and effective. It's like the efficient gun. It's like the AR-15 is like the equivalent of wearing like jeans and a t-shirt. It's like the equivalent. Yeah, it's cheap and customizable. It's like the equivalent of you know, like it's a Honda Civic. Yeah. And then like, oh, you put spoilers on your Honda Civic. I mean, it looks better, but what's the point of having a wooden stock if it's just a perfect triangle? There's no curve to it. There's no swoop. Look at this. Look at this. It's just a single piece of wood. There's no carving. There's no swoop. There's no soul. This has soul to it. Look at that. Look at the design of this stock. Look at that. That is beautiful. Look at the engraving done in the front grip. Look at the subtle curve that guides the hand here. That is a nice firearm. And this is less than $1,000 too. It's not super expensive. What are AR-15? 700? Something like that? This is 900. Okay. It's a gun Vaush. It's a piece of equipment. Like, oh my God. Do you have an opinion on this? Judge me by how well loved I am by my cats. Does he bite? All the time, but only out of love. Seriously, he bites all the time for any reason, but he never bites hard enough to hurt. At least not me. I think it hurts vermin, but I don't mind the pain as much. Oh, and we've got him, and he's a flopping. This is a significant improvement. At least the wooden furniture here was carved with some fucking decency. It's not literally just like a single triangle and then just like a tube. This is better. I still significantly prefer the Vepr 223, but this is definitely an improvement. Too noisy? I feel like this is too much. These grooves, I feel like that's a bit too much. Maybe a bit deep. Too deep. Listen, can we just, last thing I'm going to say, can we just agree that guns were as pretty as they're ever going to be with lever action rifles, and everything since then has been an increase in effectiveness and a decrease in aesthetic viability? If you look up engraved lever action rifles, oh my God. Oh. Oh. Yeah? Is this your new station? Here, do you want to walk out onto my hand? I'm strong enough to hold your weight. Maybe. The leverage here is... Ooh! What a big leap! What a large leap. I'm so proud of you. Oh my goodness. What an excellent boy. What a phenomenal lad. Why not an antique gun? Those are much cooler. We're looking at an antique gun. There's not really much purpose for lever action guns anymore outside of, what, maybe some target shoot? Maybe for some hunting purposes? Yes, the Ottoman Empire definitely had some bangers when it came to their weaponry. Okay, I apologize for soying over this. The next time you hear about guns, it'll be when I'm showing off the rifle, okay? Does it have rails or optic foregrip options? And honestly, it has both, potentially. Why do you need it? I don't need anything. I don't know. I don't have to need something. What do you mean need? Where do you need it? I don't have to fucking justify why I need something. Why did I need a nice large water jug? Because I wanted it. Why did I need this phone case? Because I want. Fuck you. You have to tell me why I don't need it. Because it's dangerous. Cars are significantly more fucking dangerous than guns are. Because it's dangerous. What? Uh, uh, what? Changing electronic equipment when I change my fixtures? When you turn off the brake, you could be electrocuted. Well, you didn't wear rubber gloves. What if the breaker was actually shit? Then yeah, fuck you. I have kitchen knives. What do you want? You think I don't juggle my kitchen knives? I got my goddamn fucking Japanese fucking $400 knife set. That shit could cut through the 1,000-folded Nippon steel blade, okay? I'm juggling those knives every goddamn day. You know why? Because I can, because I'm a fucking American. Because I'm a goddamn American. Where do you put your guns? In a secure safe, thank you. Because that's what I want. Fucking Puritans in chat, yeah. You juggle the safe, yeah. Cars are not for killing? Yeah, cars aren't for killing, and they still manage to kill like 1,000,000,000,000 times more people than fucking guns. How dangerous are cars then? Holy shit. Goddamn, guns are made for killing, and they don't manage to kill anywhere near as many people as guns in the United States every year. Jesus. More people use cars? Actually, I'm pretty sure there are more guns in the U.S. than there are cars. Right? Wait, actually, they're probably pretty close, right? There are like 400 million guns in the U.S. I don't know how many cars there are. Probably in the ballpark. Similar. Yeah, I want to get rid of cars. Listen, the America I want, no cars, all guns. All right? That's what I want. That's what I'm talking about. Get rid of those dangerous cars. Yeah. You have a gun safe? Yeah, why wouldn't I have a gun safe? I have guns. I have 6 guns. And I have 6 gun safes, one for each of them. That's how safe I am. I have 12 gun safes, okay? I have 6 of them are for one gun each, and 6 of them are for the ammunition for that gun, okay? If somebody broke into my house, it would take me 25 minutes to assemble the equipment to defend myself. That's how safe I am. Vaush, get me on right now. Debate your American brain. Why is it that every time guns come up, people it's like there's a fresh wave of liberals every stream? I have no idea what's going on. It's not liberals, right? It's Europeans. They're very scared by guns. Go to Switzerland. Everyone in Switzerland has a fucking gun. They have their fucking military service. Then everyone gets to keep the rifle after. What's the standard Swiss service rifle? Don't they all get to keep the SIG SG 550? Doesn't every Swiss household have a SIG just chilling in there? They don't have ammo though. You can get ammo. You can buy it. Hold on. Switzerland ammo buying laws. Swiss citizens can get a permit to buy guns and ammunition unless they have a criminal record or police deem them unsuitable on psychiatric or security grounds. God, you have to get a permit to buy ammunition? Yoink, Scoob. Yeah, okay, whatever. You can still bludgeon a person to death with a SIG. See this thing? This is dangerous with or without ammo. Look at that. I can fucking grab it by the this and just beat people to death. Jesus. The Swiss are lunatics. You believe it? You can shoot handguns in the UK, but they make you do this to them. Wait, what? Is this real? They do this in the UK? What is this? Rudy Tooty point. Is this so you can't have it in a holster? Like this, the barrel extends so you, just to keep you from. This is stupid as fuck. What am I looking at? What's the California law? What is it called? Like a webbed grip? What's the term for that shit? It's like oh yeah, this. Oh my god. Liberals. Why? Look, here's the CA compliant grip. You have to have the thing blocking the thumb. Look at this. Imagine holding this. You can't hold it. You have to like hold it with your fish mittens. What am I looking at? Yeah, there's another kind too where it's like this handle is compliant by you can't have the pistol grip. It has to like rear back like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's California regulations, you know. You can just make a hole. Yeah, the stupidest thing is like if you wanted to go Joker mode, it would take like very little effort to modify a firearm to make it. Okay, first of all, you can just straw purchase anything you want in the United States, okay? Trying to deny people access to lethal weapons in the United States is like trying to deny people access to weed, okay? You can go find any alleyway in the United States and go find a fucking non-California compliant like rifle. Okay? Like you can just go find anyone. There's the people packing it in their trench coats, you know? This is a CA legal .50 Beowulf AR pistol. True and based. The California. The fuck am I looking at? Like, So are you calling for a repeal of every gun control law? No, I'm calling for a repeal of liberalism is what I'm calling for. And that's basically what I've been calling for my entire stream. I've said this a million times before. Look, okay, my concern with firearms is not if I have one on me, I'll defend myself from a burglar, because that shit don't work. It's not if I go to my local Walmart, I'll concealed carry in case I'm attacked by the Walmart demons. That's not it either. Though that's an important thing to consider. The real concern that I have is that if society ever goes Joker mode, for long enough, you might see far right militias patrol the streets. This has already happened. This literally happened during the BLM protests, okay? Where there were cities, like Portland saw a lot of this, where, in the chaos, well organized, heavily armed right wing militia bands that are out in the suburban or rural areas maraud into the cities and start essentially like occupying them. Now, in a situation like that, which I do not think is like super unlikely, by the way, I'm not making this up. This is a thing that's happened historically and contemporarily, America and not in America, okay? If something like that's going to happen, I just want it known that left-leaning people, even libs, have firearms, that it's not just conservatives, okay? When these far-right militias are deciding where to take their energy, I want them to think, you know, before society went to shit, I did hear that people were stockpiling massive armories in the inner city just in case something bad happened. Oh, hey lads, do you want to go into like downtown Seattle? No, I read that the millennials really took to buying huge stockpiles of 5.56 ammunition. Do you guys remember that story about the lefty group that bought like 8 million rounds of 223 Remington and distributed it along with guns to people in their neighborhood? I don't know if we want to go there, man. I don't. That seems like a bad idea. And to me, that information could be. Is that legal? You can do whatever you want with ammunition, can't you? You can just if you wanted to with ammunition, can't you just you can just drive a car around and just throw boxes of ammunition out the back, can't you? Can you? You should be able to. I'm going to say you can. That's littering. If littering is the only thing that's wrong with that, then I say you can. Who gets arrested for littering? Also, boxes of ammunition are like 5 pounds, and every bullet is literally an explosive. So probably don't throw boxes of ammunition at people. So just so safety note. Bullets are literally contained explosives, and they're also heavy. So don't throw them at people. Yeah, just little bit of advice there. Would you also sponsor legislation on taxing gun manufacturers more? I don't know if the issue is gun manufacturers. I feel like the issue is the NRA and like the far right that promote firearms as some kind of masculinity enhancing solution to all of your life's problems, as opposed to what it really is, which is an exercise of political power and potentially a tool, depending on whether you hunt or, stuff like that. It's the masculinizing it, making it out to be like this like politically partisan like lib owner. That's the real issue, I think. I don't think gun ownership is like the fundamental issue, especially because we already have enough guns in America to last us for centuries. If America never imported another firearm ever again, magically, we never did it, and we never produced another one ever. There are currently enough firearms in the United States to arm the citizenry for like millennia. That's not a joke. Seriously. There are so many firearms in the United States that we could completely cut off production and import and have enough in them to fuel constant civilian warfare for centuries down the line. We have hundreds of millions of guns, more guns than people in the United States, and billions of rounds of ammunition. There are so many. It is so saturated in the United States that, to me, the logistics of like trying to remove them it doesn't make a lot of sense for a couple of reasons. First of all, the vast majority of gun deaths take place in two contexts, okay? Suicide and criminality, often gang warfare. Now, there is nothing on God's green earth that the government can do to keep guns out of the hands of gangs if they want guns. Not with how many there are in this country. You can hand make guns. You can 3D print guns these days. It's not difficult. You can find a 20-minute YouTube tutorial and learn how to construct a homemade firearm that is not spectacularly reliable, but it's not impossible to make. The gangs are running hundreds of millions of dollars of drugs. They're going to get guns. There's no way of stopping them. That's a huge portion of the gun deaths in this country. Likewise with petty criminals who get these guns secondhand, muggings, whatever, murders. I don't think that can be meaningfully stopped. And the other big one is suicide. And to me, the big thing we can do to prevent gun suicide is proper mental health awareness. If you have suicidal thoughts or, paranoid schizophrenia, you shouldn't have a gun in the home. Seriously. Have a friend who's very mentally secure and keep the gun at their home. If you just don't feel that well, have them get a gun safe, keep them in the closet, in their closet, and have them keep the gun there. And if you ever want to use the gun to go to the range, just say like, hey, do you mind if I pick up the gun and I'll go to the range, blah, blah. But like, that is a huge, massively decreases the likelihood of hurting yourself, which is important. Suicides go up when there's a gun in the house, okay? We've heard all this before, Vaush, and it bears repeating. It's important to keep that in mind. What if you don't have friends? If you feel you're not mentally stable enough to have a gun in the house and there's no one with whom you can trust a firearm that you've purchased, then don't have a gun. It's fine. You'll live, You really want to fire a gun, you can gather up a friend and go to a range. This is the reason why, by the way, unless you already own a firearm, you need to bring someone else with you. You need a +1 when you go to most firing ranges. The reason for that is because they don't want people going, hey, here's $50, please give me gun, and then blowing their brains out. The adapter, if you want the adapter, why are you reaching at the Dove dark chocolate foil? I have Dove dark chocolate foil right here. I had a little late night snack. To put things into perspective for European viewers, you know how in video games you could run around and find ammo and guns everywhere? That's literally what it's like in America. Literally. You guys realize they sell guns at Walmart, right? I mean, you can literally like walk around, they're everywhere here in the United States, just all over the place. Well, they removed a lot of them from Walmart. It used to be. They used to sell guns at certain Walmarts. I think they've kind of taken that down a bit, but they might still have it in rural areas. I know there was an outcry over that. Literally, Walmart. This is the largest big box retailer in America. This is America, folks. In an environment like this, you're not going to, like, remove guns from the hands of people. It's just not, there's too many of them. There's a lot of them. They only removed AR-15s. They still sell guns. Yeah, that's more lib shit. The vast majority of gun deaths are with pistols. AR-15s scare people because they look scary, because they're civilian versions of military rifles. In reality, though, AR-15s are a incredibly small portion of actual gun deaths. Do you know why? You can conceal pistols. You can't conceal... Well, you can conceal rifles, but it's obviously a lot more difficult. It's logistically harder to do. Yeah, you have to conceal them in a larger bit of your body. Yeah, you need a ghillie suit. You have to wear a very baggy jacket. Yeah, pistols are far more dangerous because they're tools of mass shootings, which are an actual problem. Vaush, Jesus Christ. Statistically, mass shootings are okay. First of all, suck my dick. Second of all, mass shootings are not going to be fixed by limiting firearms. If that was the case, then why weren't there more mass shootings back in the days when it was way easier to get access to these guns, like, all around the place? If mass shootings are just a product of the availability of firearms, then we wouldn't have seen a spike of them in the 90s. Like, they would have been a thing going way back. Like, people have been owning semi-automatic rifles for a long time. Those have been around for like a century, No, the issue with the mass shooting thing is undeniably mental health, civil society. And if you think I'm lying on that, then you're brain cucked, you're dumb, and you're stupid pilled. If you are intent on doing a mass shooting, you are signing your life away. Anyone who does a school shooting, they basically know they're going to die doing it. Their life is over. Do you really think a person with that kind of determination isn't going to be able to find sufficiently lethal weapons to carry out their cause in a country where there are hundreds of millions of guns? Like, we're talking about like means and access here, but the access and the means of availability are so ubiquitous that I don't think you can really solve school shootings by removing hundreds of millions of guns. What we need to do is take mental health more seriously. So should you enforce a law where schizophrenics can't own guns? I don't know if the issue is necessarily schizophrenia, but I do support, mental health interventions being a qualifier that can deny people gun ownership. Seriously, almost every time you hear about a mass shooting, there are like 4,000 red flags that are flown up beforehand, Like the mass shooting that happened at my college when I was at the college in front of the building that I was in at the time the mass shooting took place, hundreds of feet away from me, was done by a guy who, if you're writing the profile on this guy, he's got a couple Joker mode red flags thrown up there. The most recent one in Michigan, that school, the guy who did the shooting. Remember, we talked about that one. That guy was, he was posting red flags for weeks beforehand. He was drawing himself shooting people in school, and then he was called into the office, and it's an issue. You should go through a psychiatrist to get a gun license. I don't think if you want to commit a crime with a gun, you can get a gun, okay? The issue here is these aren't problems that you can solve by limiting access to guns. Some gun regulations can be helpful. A 3-day wait, fine, we can talk about that. The issue that I have is that we're dealing with a more... honestly, the best way to regulate guns is to not even think about regulating guns. There are adjacent social issues that I feel you can target way more effectively in order to enforce the changes that you're interested in. Yeah, it's a sociological issue. Massively so, I think gun culture is the big one, personally. Other countries also have mental health problems, Vaush. Look at Japan. Jesus Christ, you can't pretend America's even worse. How many guns does Japan have in its borders? Wooloo enjoyer. Do you think there might be a bit of a difference? Do you think the government can just snap its fingers and instantly delete hundreds of millions of guns? You realize if they tried to do that, this country would be over, right? It's the Second Amendment. You realize there'd be blood in the streets. You can't just remove guns from the U.S., You can do gun buyback programs, but those won't even put a dent in the numbers in this country. Yeah, in Japan, where there are, like, no guns, the situation is different. Here, where guns are fucking everywhere, we have to treat these problems differently, because removal is not an effective way of fixing it. Okay, wait. Oh, God. We're on the anti-lib arc. What the fuck is that argument? Second Amendment? I guess we've never changed the Constitution before. Well, we've never removed one of the fucking Bill of Rights, have we? We've never actually just removed one of the foundational... If that's your opinion, what if we just got rid of the Second Amendment, then magically got rid of all the guns? Thank you, brilliant genius. Thank you, God Wizard. Thank you for being sent from the heavens to ordain the... Oh, you think we should just get 2/3 of the states to ratify removing the Second Amendment, prompt a fucking civil uprising from the millions of people who would treat this like the literal fucking Obama FEMA camp doomsday tier situation they think it would be, and then somehow get the government to remove enough firearms with the combined mass to sink a fucking battleship? Yeah, oh, sure. Oh, why didn't I think of that? You're right. Why don't we just pray to Gabriel and the angels to come down and just directly remove the guns? If we could perhaps pray them away. Jesus. Vaush thinking every sane gun take is lib brain when it's literally just not being America poisoned. Fine, maybe this is a European issue. If you think we can just pray the gun away, then you're not actually seriously talking about fixing the issues in this country. This is one of the problems I have with you fucking Eurocucks, you frogs, and you fucking Brit-bong crooked teeth dipshits, okay? The issue that I have with you fucks is you're so fucking snide. You think you're like us, Americans, in that you get to chauvinistically decide how other countries should run their shit. Well, you're not us. We get to do that. You know why? Because we win and you lose. Fuck you. All right? We Marshall planned you. Get bombed more. Get your fucking tubes blown out. Asshole. You cannot just pray away all the fucking guns in the United States. There are trillions of them. Quadrillions, possibly. Quintillions. You know, maybe sell less. Yes, if we sold fewer guns, maybe by the year 3,200, we'd be at... There are so many. Do you know how long guns last? There are guns manufactured at the beginning of the 20th century that work perfectly well today. Do you have any fucking idea how long? They genuinely don't understand, lol, it's not their fault. I'm trying to think of a way to, like, describe... It'd be like, stop selling ammo. There are already 8 billion rounds of ammunition. Also, again, Constitution. You can't do that without fucking up the Second Amendment. Get 2/3 of the states to ratify. Get the president to sign. No. Does the president even have to sign anything for... I actually forget. I forget. Yeah, right? Yeah. No? Oh, no, Congress does. Congress, yes. Okay, here we go. Thank you. Estimated number of civilian guns per capita per country. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's looking good. There we go. Got less than 5, which Japan belongs to. And then you've got, is that one country with over 100 guns per 100 people? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? I don't actually know the words. What's up? What the fuck? Uruguay, Austria, Finland, and Yemen? Well, I can't speak to most, but I'm pretty sure Finland has a rich culture of gun ownership, doesn't it? It's all ice up there. They have to, like, defend themselves against moose or whatever. At Vaush, countries with no guns have no problems with guns, but also they should introduce guns because liberals something. Okay, dude. Willow Enjoyer. When the fuck did I say other countries should introduce guns? Holy fuck. Why are you guys like this? When did I say that? Why are you so triggered? Chill. Nobody said that. Oh my God. Jesus. I get so emotional. Please let me on. This is 90% miscommunication. No, I haven't miscommunicated at all. If there's any miscommunication here, that's other people, like, not listening to what I'm saying. It's a logical extrapolation of what you said. The whole argument that I made is predicated on the ubiquitousness of firearms in America. I keep saying, in America, you can't do this because there are guns everywhere in America. Keep saying this over and over again. It's not a logical extension, okay? They're being illogical. So basically, the U.S. is fucked beyond saving and should have done something 50 years ago, but profits? No! You can solve these issues. All right, nope. We're committing to this. Firearm deaths in America. Let's talk about how to fix this. This is your fault. This is all of your faults. There were 40,000 deaths, give or take, from firearms in 2019. 60% are from suicide. Oops! Well, there's issue number 1. So if we encourage proper firearm safety, have people who are mentally unwell or people with high degrees of suicidality, they should store their firearms elsewhere, or they should just not own them. We have, like, zero mental health awareness in America. You could cut down this number significantly with good mental health awareness. Massively so. The average American's understanding of mental health awareness is calling an exorcism whenever women, like, get angry because they didn't come last night from sex, okay? That's your average American, like, mental health understanding, okay? It's using a rotary phone to call a doctor to ask them to bring, like, a hammer and a chisel to fix their wife's hysteria, okay? So we could cut down on this significantly. Okay? About 15,000 people in the U.S. died from firearm homicide, accounting for 37% of total deaths from firearms. Firearms were the means for about 75% of homicides in 2018. So we should break down firearm homicides. What are the circumstances surrounding that? About 3% of firearm deaths are unintentional, undetermined from legal intervention or from public mass shootings. So, like, nothing. 0.2% of total firearm deaths are public mass shootings. Just because they're a big media spectacle does not mean that they're, like, the predominant, like, not to say they're not tragic, but, like, don't do the woke liberal equivalent of conservatives screaming that terrorism is, like, destroying America because, like, 0.2% of, like, murders were terrorism in 1 year, okay? Don't do that thing. That's why the risk and safety, trends of firearms and death. Okay, we need to take a look at firearm homicides, okay? U.S. firearm homicides. Let's break those numbers down. Fact stats, homicide, CDC. Let's go. Assault or homicide. Firearm homicides, mortality data from 2018. Mortality data. I agree. Abide by the terms. Gun violence in the United States. Wikipedia, as always, the savior of this stream. Let's go. Gun violence, tens of thousands of deaths and injuries annually. 2018, most recent year, which is available from CDC, National Health. Okay, we saw these numbers before. Homicides. 1905 suicides. In 2010, 11,000 homicides. About 6,000 involved a handgun. About 300 involved a rifle. Jesus. And libs are screaming about AR-15 bans. It's scary. 358 murders with the rifle. 6,000 with a handgun. Jesus, fuck. Compared to 22 other high-income nations, the U.S. gun-related homicide rate is 25 times higher. Stay winning, U.S. Although it has half the population, 82% of gun deaths. Right. Okay, where's the breakdown? Gun violence against other persons is most common in poor urban areas and is frequently associated with gang violence, often involving male juveniles or young adult males, African American populations, high amounts of firearm injuries and homicide. Okay, is there like a statistic for how much of this is gang related? Violent crime, other violent crime, quarter of robberies, victims, public policy. No, I want to see like how many of these are okay. Mass shootings, comparisons to other countries, history, demographics of risk. Demographics of risk might be good. Let me see. Prevalence of homicide and violent crime, statistical metropolitan areas. Metropolitan area, the homicide rate was higher. 17 to 24 age group was significantly overrepresented in firearm homicides. People with a criminal record more likely to die. Here, hold on, let me see. Can we Control F gang? I always forget that Control F is a thing. Please give me gang violence statistics. Firearm homicides, U.S. attributed to gang violence. Gun-related homicides have dropped recently. 37% of firearms. There's the death. Gun-related homicides. 6 and 10 gun. What the data says about gun deaths in the United States. Does it say anything about gangs? Hit me up. No, it doesn't. Gang violence deaths per year, U.S. Statisticians are all cuckolds. Think this is what you want? Measuring the extent of gang problems. Do they have a firearm rate here? Or a homicide rate? I imagine almost all homicides committed by gangs would be via firearm. So I'm willing to count that in. Maximum. Okay, number of gang-related homicides. Let me see. In 2012, agents reporting gang activity coverage rate. Total gang homicides in 2012, 2,300. What would that be? About a fifth of the gun deaths? I need a better breakdown. I want to see, like, how many of these homicides are domestic disputes, how much are gun violence, how much were done in the commission of another crime, how many of them were heat of passion, like, you know, stuff like that. We're not outfitted for a full fucking breakdown right now. So guns just escalate general failings and core issues that were fixed in other gun culture countries like Switzerland? Yes. Guns are a force multiplier that exacerbate the existence of other sociological issues. And since it is, and let me be clear about this, not possible to remove guns from the United States in any meaningful way, the best thing that we can do is try to control the negative externalities with other sociological, with other sociological solutions. Anybody whose solution to any of these issues is get rid of guns is fucking delusional. Okay, like you have no right talking about this. You know, when I worked at a frozen yogurt place, I had a coworker who was a really cool guy. He was a black guy. He was poor. He came from East LA. He had quite a distance to travel to get to the Beverly Hills-based frozen yogurt location that we worked at, and we were friends. You know, we would talk, and we were talking about firearms one day. And he said that he owned a firearm, which I didn't at the time, you know. I says, oh, you know, cool. And he was like, yes, well, don't tell anyone. It's unlicensed. I was like, oh, you know, California has all states. You have to license your firearms, of course. It's like, oh, why is it unlicensed? And he was like, well, I live over here, you know, and like everyone in my neighborhood has a gun. And we got robbed like last month, and like, I don't know. You know, I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to tell on you, but like, how did you even get it? And he was like, people have been trying to pawn their guns off to me for like years. That's all I had to do was say yes. In an environment like this, you're just not going to get rid of all guns. And then you did anyway. I had more than one black coworker. Jesus Christ. Yeah, go try to work with that. Narrator Vaush did telling him. In my past, I once met a person who said they did something, and they said don't tell anyone that I did it specifically. Good luck, Vaush. Let's never attempt to change the environment. All right, Lord, you're getting a unique ban. I've been waiting to try this out. So this ban will actually delete all of the data from your computer. This will just remove you from the internet entirely, which will probably be good for you. You know, I know we can't get rid of guns today, but shouldn't it be a long-term goal? Kind of like how there isn't going to be a revolution tomorrow. How do you plan on achieving that? Pow Draft, are you American? What do you have any idea what the situation we're dealing with here is? Do you even fathom how this isn't just a difficult logistical problem. This is a political impossibility, okay? I need you to understand. The Second Amendment is one of the most deeply ingrained political rights held by a majority of Americans. People don't want the Second Amendment removed. Even the majority of Democrats don't, okay? Libby as they can be sometimes. This isn't just... We're not just talking about the logistical and political difficulties of removing one of the 10 amendments, which is insane to begin with, okay? Like, you realize the Second Amendment is right next to the first one, right? I think more Americans care about the second than the first, all right? The First Amendment, the freedom one, the Second Amendment's right next to it. Removing them, I think the Second Amendment would actually prompt more outrage, okay? That's the severity of what we're talking about. But if you can even imagine getting 2/3 of states, and you need 2/3 of states, by the way, keep in mind the majority of states are Republican. Because the majority of states have like 500,000 people. Like, there are a ton of states that have like no population. It's all rural. You would need, is it 3/4? Actually, know much about is it 3/4 or 2? It's 3/4. Oh yeah, 3/4. You would need 3/4. Okay, hold on. Let me pull up a map. Let's pull up a map real quick, okay? So here are the 2020 election results. Look at that. You need to get 3/4 of these states to ratify removing the Second Amendment. This will not happen in centuries. I legitimately think it's more likely that 3/4 of these states vote Bernie Sanders or a Bernie Sanders tier candidate in than 3/4 of these states voting to ratify the removal of the Second Amendment. I legitimately believe that. Oh, this is 2016. Oh, whatever. 2016. I just Googled Trump election map. Anyway, but it gets worse, okay? Because not only are we talking about an impossible ratification process, we are then talking about the civil unrest this will cause, okay? Now, I don't know if you know this, but the main Republican fear-mongering talking point for decades has been, they're going to come take your guns away, they're going to remove the Second Amendment. If this happens, you go balls to the wall. You will be essentially flipping the green light on millions of Americans who have spent their lives being told that this is the end game of the FEMA-Obama world order takeover. There will be blood in the streets. There will be, I'm not joking, if there was somehow some magical removal of the Second Amendment, the death toll would be in the 6 digits by the end of the week. I legitimately believe that. You have no idea. They would be screaming, running out to their pickup trucks to the nearest city. They would light cities ablaze. They would be bombing everything and anything. This country would instantly have the political stability of Libya. It would instantly, it would break apart. It would be a civil war like that. No joke. That's not an exaggeration. This isn't Tim Pool level fear-mongering. It would be an immediate and direct removal of every institutional support. People who are saying good think that the next thing that would happen would be communism instead of fascism. You're very naive. The political backlash would ensure that. And keep in mind, by the way, who are the people who's mad, okay? The people who are mad about this are the ones who own the guns, okay? The people who aren't mad are the ones who don't own the guns. So what you're essentially doing is putting a target on the back of the people who wanted the amendment changed, and the people looking for those targets are the ones who have been stockpiling weapons and ammunition. Nobody who owns guns, at least not many of them, are going to be in favor of this. but we have an army. Do you think the average soldier would be in favor of the removal of the Second Amendment? Look, I get most soldiers vote Dems. Do you think the military would get on board with that? Military occupation would save some cities, okay? America would be fucking crippled. And why? Because you wanted to remove guns. You miserable, wretched fucks. Oh my god. All of this is worth it. Destroy the whole country, kill everyone, as long as we have fewer guns. Except, no you wouldn't. Removing the Second Amendment doesn't actually remove guns from people's hands. Do you think there are enough government agents out there to go collecting people's armories? What do you think is going to happen the first time a police officer shows up at your average prepper's door and tells them it's time to hand over their guns? What do you think is going to happen when the federal government puts a 1 year down the line guideline, a deadline telling them this is when you have to hand in your firearms? How would they even check that? Do you think all of them are licensed? Do you think these are all legitimately owned firearms the government can track? Or do you think, as is the case, a significant number of them are straw purchases that would be impossible to track anyway? People would say, oh, I gave this gun to this, that, and the other. And and what? Oh, I threw this gun away last year. How do you know they didn't sell it to somebody? How do you know they didn't just give it to their son or their brother or a friend or a coworker? You have no idea. And they wouldn't have enough police officers. They would send police officers, they would send SWAT, they would send the National Guard, but there are far more civilians than there are any of those put together. And then you talk about the 3D printed guns. Oh my god. You can 3D print guns. Do you know that? Let me Google 3D printed guns. You gonna regulate that? Here's a 3D printed gun. Do you think the bullet from it will hurt you less? Does it look like a does it look like it'll go easy on you? Is this some sort of soft bullet perhaps that isn't threatening? Ah, yes. There we are. All you need is plastic. Plastic and a bit of metal. No, but they're less reliable and they don't last as long. They'll last longer than your aorta will if a bullet from that thing tears through it. Trust me. So the government is just bleeding through civil servants trying to collect people's guns. You want to take their ammunition? How many rounds of ammunition have already been sold in the United States? Yeah, I can Google that. How much ammunition in U.S.? Let's see if we can... 8.1 billion rounds. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. That's not true. That's just how many of them were sold in 2018. My apologies. Sorry. That was just 1 year of production. My bad. Oh, how long can bullets last? Decades? Oh, no, sorry. Tens of billions in civilian ownership then. Undeniably. Inarguably. Even if you could somehow instantly stop the production of all ammunition in the United States, and good luck with that, by the way, as if there wouldn't immediately be black market forges mass producing, 223 and 9mm ammunition the day of the Second Amendment repeal, as if people wouldn't be converting their barns into people would be melting down pennies and shit, whatever. They would. We've done this. This happens around the world. Even if you could magically stop the production of all firearms, we already own enough bullets to kill every human on Earth. America is the firearm equivalent of the current state of nuclear armaments around the world, okay? In that we already own so many, there's already so much that we're well into overkill territory. Now, I understand, the Europeans are sweating right now. Nothing that I'm saying right now is meant to be an argument that anything I'm describing is good. It's just about reality. When people talk about banning guns or ammunition in the U.S., you're as politically ignorant as a person saying we should just ban gang violence. What if we just banned crime? It's like that Ben Shapiro tweet, I'm offended by the simplicity of your analysis. But I understand. If you are a European, you might just not understand how much weaponry the United States has. It might be almost unfathomable, because if you're in Europe, like I have European friends, they've never even seen guns. You have no idea. You couldn't even begin to fathom. We could, every year, 8.1 billion rounds. it's unimaginable almost. And a lot of that does get shot into targets. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying all of it gets stored in armories. It's not a permanent cumulative accumulation. It just frustrates me. If we want to talk about sensible gun control, I'm okay with 3-day wait periods, 7-day wait periods, whatever. I'm okay with wait periods. I'm fine with that. I think that's good because it cuts down on heat of passion crimes. I think that's a good thing. I'm okay with basic criminal background checks, and I'm okay with some mental health situations flagging you for removal of your firearms. That's that's kind of a logistical difficulty. It's not easy to figure out where the line is there. And I'm okay with gun buyback programs. I don't think they're supremely effective, but if you want to get excess guns off the street, saying, hey, the government will pay you $300, turn your gun in. I think that's nice. Like, you can do that if you want. That's a choice you get to make. Do you agree with the way Europe regulates guns and stuff? Europe has a lot of countries in it. My consideration here is tailored to the United States. That's what I care about. Oh, the gun show loophole, straw purchases. That's something that needs to be cracked down on significantly. Massively so. It's one of the big issues, the gun show loophole, that we absolutely need to crack down on. Additionally, I'm sorry, I just saw someone in chat. Oh yeah, look, just the thing that bothers me is these liberal sentiments, get rid of all guns, or the people who they crow about assault rifle. What is an assault rifle? What an assault? Do you know? No, you don't. What is an assault rifle? Do you think it's like a machine gun? It's not a machine gun. What's an assault rifle? What are you talking about? California just banned assault rifles, bro. There's no assault rifle. What's assault rifle? What was that? What is that? Rifle you assault people with? What do you beat them to death with? What are you talking about? Assault rifle is a rifle that fires intermediate ammo. No, I'm asking. The legal, the technical definition of an assault rifle is consistent, but the definition used by Democrats to describe weaponry is not. Assault rifle is a catch-all term for spooky guns. That's what it means in the eyes of people who actually legislate this stuff. It's spooky guns, like with pumpkins and ghosts drawn on them and stuff like that. And they legislate them because they're spooky. That's the main thing. One of the critical issues that I have is that so much of this, it comes down to people's intuitive fear of guns. If you're afraid of guns, fucking go for it, man. Guns are dangerous. Seriously, I'm afraid of guns. Fine. Guns are designed to kill things. That's what guns do. They are remarkable. They're very good at it. There's a hole in the front of them, and when you press a button or pull a trigger, something in front has a hole punched through it by an explosion and a piece of metal. It's incredibly dangerous. Yeah, that's fine. But you have, California legislators who will see something like this, and they'll quiver and shake and crunch their little Soylent bottles. No, that's scary. They'll get, when this weapon kills an unimaginably small number of people compared to this one, pistols don't look as scary. Oh, it's a pistol. No. Oh, okay. Well, that's just a pistol. No. No. Well, it's fine. Yeah. Vast majority of people died to handguns. And the fact that they obsess over the assault rifles indicates to me that they're catering to people's intuitive fear of guns rather than actually trying to fix meaningful problems with gun ownership. It means they're not really trying to solve the problems. They're just virtue signaling. Okay. Here's the thing that we actually need to be concerned with. This is the last thing I'll say on the subject, okay? The ultimate threat to safe civil society. Okay. Pistols are dangerous because they can be concealed. Rifles are dangerous because they tend to carry more ammunition. The real thing we need to ban is the synthesis of these two threats. There is nothing on Earth more dangerous than the dual spiral drum belt 100 round magazine Glock mass shooting. Nothing else even comes close. This is what we need to take care of, okay? This is the danger right here. Doesn't that weigh 30 kilograms or something? Yeah, well. Guys, go ahead. Hey, listen, at least at that weight, there's no fucking recoil, right? Could probably fire that automatic, and there'd be no recoil. Because you're using all your strength just to hold it up. You dual wield them? Yeah, if you're fucking Dwayne Johnson. Okay, we have to stop. It's been an hour.